Is there trauma that has been inherited because of gender or race or underdiagnosed issues or undiagnosed issues? What does this mean? Is this the case? And how do we start healing the things we don't necessarily see every day?
Absolutely. That inherited piece we call intergenerational trauma. So you can imagine there's a moment of historical trauma that's slavery, genocide of indigenous peoples, Japanese internment camps, the Holocaust. And the folks that survived that, they didn't get to heal.
Right.
And often those harms that happened to them didn't even get acknowledged, but they survived. And then they raise kids, but they've been traumatized, and it comes through in their own parenting. It comes through in the way that they manage their emotions. It comes through in the way that their genetic code gets expressed.
Mhm.
And so that happens generation after generation of generation. Unacknowledged harm that repeats, lives in the body, lives in relationships, lives in the mind.
We're healing from decades and decades of mistrust, distrust, experimentation, isolation, violence, abuse, discrimination. The list goes on and on. What are some ways that maybe we can help stop that cycle or maybe release some of the pain for our next generation?
One of the ways, most important ways that we begin to heal is to acknowledge what has happened. All of those historical harms have impacted all of us, actually. How do we treat trauma for the child who's still being abused, right? We usually want to remove them from that situation, and that is not the case for us right now. And so I think it's also why we can't heal this alone. We really need accomplices of all backgrounds to be in on this, making changes and fighting and healing themselves, because we've all been impacted by this. You can't be a bystander to abuse and not be impacted, right? So, but when it comes to Black and brown folks in the community healing from all of that, I think, again, it happens when we are together in community. It happens by attending to our bodies and how, trauma, the body keeps the score, right? It's in that body. So what are we doing? Healing practices. And it shows up in our body with all those, the health outcomes that we're having.